Hey everyone, this week we're going to talk about the mindset necessary to shift from medicine to entrepreneurship. We're going to talk about a ton of stories I've heard about, my own stories, and I know you're going to enjoy this. Welcome to the Passive Income MD podcast, where we talk about creating your ideal life through multiple streams of income. If you enjoy hearing about this stuff, make sure to hit subscribe. Now let's get on with the show. So if you've ever been part of our community, you know that I love stories about physicians who have turned to entrepreneurs. Now, the stories of how they experienced a challenge, or maybe they thought about a challenge or had some challenge in their own lives, and then with a ton of determination, they used a lot of creativity, resourcefulness, and they went after it, right? With a passion. They solved a problem and they created a business. At the core, that is what entrepreneurship is all about. It's simply solving a problem. Again, I've shared stories in the past, especially on the Leverage and Growth Summit, about pediatricians, anesthesiologists, radiologists who found a problem that they were able to solve, whether it's invention of a device, a consumer product good, it's an app, whatever it might be. They've taken their passion and created all of these things. Now, when you've heard some of these stories, you might think, how are they able to do that? That's for them, but maybe that's not for me. We often see that other side of success and we just see where they're at today. We don't remember what it took to get there, or it seems impossible to figure out how we can get there. But there is a shift and a mindset necessary to get there. And it doesn't come easy. That's why I like calling it not always a shift, but I like calling it a transition, because it takes time to get from here to there. So we talk about 4 ways to navigate this transition. Okay, number 1, you have to simply identify what is driving you. Is it a desire for financial freedom? Do you want that flexibility? Do you want to live in another country for 3 months? Is your current job not what you thought it'd be? Are you looking for that flexibility to spend time more with your family? Is it a desire to make a bigger impact? Maybe you love treating patients one-on-one, but you'd love to make a global impact or a country impact, or at least a huge community impact. Maybe that's what's driving you. Maybe it's like you always thought in yourself that you wanted to create something more in terms of a product or an invention. That's something that you always wanted to do, but because you were along this medical track and you just took it as far as it could go, you just didn't have the time or the energy or the opportunity to do so. Now, I'll tell you, for me, I've always wanted to be in business in some way. I mean, I loved medicine, and I grew up in a family of people in medicine, and I always thought that I'd be a doctor. But there was some time around college, even a little bit before that, I found myself being involved in little businesses. It started when I was a kid, and when I used to live near a golf course. I used to take the golf balls in the woods. I used to go hunting them down. I used to clean them up, and I used to sell them right after the first tee. And I'd sell them for, I think, like $quarter each or whatever it was. And it wasn't necessarily about the money, but it was the concept of taking something, creating value out of nothing. And it was a lot of fun for me. Even in college, I helped create this like college coupon book. You probably haven't seen those in college, where you go around and you get discounts at different restaurants or stores by being part of a college. You flash a card. Well, I helped create one of those at my own particular college. And I really love that, because you're able to impact so many people around you and create a win. I'll call it the triple win. Win for the company, win for yourself, win for the people that it affects. And that's something that really drove me. And I absolutely love that. But as I got older in medicine, actually one of the big driving factors for me was to have another stream of income. I saw what happens when you depend solely on medicine. Now, that happened to me, where I was relying solely on medicine for my income and my career, and I found that somebody else can control that. And at that point, I felt like I was captive to that job. I didn't have the flexibility. I didn't have the freedom to make the choices that I wanted. And so I decided that I was going to create other income streams outside of medicine, both through investing wisely and through creating businesses. One of my very first businesses that I created was a company called Curbside Real Estate. It's still active today. I know many of you have taken advantage. It's where we help connect physicians to agents and lenders all over the country to help you buy, especially your first home as a physician. It's hard to navigate that world of physician home loans. Sometimes when you relocate, it's hard to know where to buy a home or a good agent to help you out. Well, Curbside Real Estate helps you solve all that. Again, that was born out of a difficulty buying my own home the first time. And I wanted to help so many other people around me. I want to create that other income stream. And it's still a business that's around today and creates nice income for me as I built up a team to help us do this. And we've impacted and we've helped hundreds of physicians all around the country in pretty much every state available. And it's something that really brought a lot of joy to my life, because I knew that I was impacting and helping my fellow community, while at the same time creating another stream of income so I could have a hedge against anything that happened in medicine. And obviously that led me to creating other businesses like Passive Income MD, Ascent Equity Group, and other businesses that I've become advisors of, and I've been helping to grow as well. Now for yourself, like knowing why you want to do these things will help you create opportunities. In fact, it'll help you see opportunities that are out there for yourself. And the way you're going to come across a lot of these opportunities, number two, is you need to build a network around you. Your network is your net worth. You probably heard that saying before, and I think it's absolutely true. The more you interact with like-minded people, put your intentions out there. Let them know what you're looking for. I'm trying to create a business like this, or I want to do this type of thing. People will latch onto that. They will remember, and they'll find ways to connect you in the future. And so I'm all about putting out that intention, and I believe that it comes back to you in some way. So networking with other entrepreneurs, with mentors, with other like-minded people, going to conferences like PIMD Con, right? We have an entrepreneurship track there. Finding people who are thinking that way will help you expand your mindset, but also help you find those opportunities. So changing that mindset of just trying to figure out what you want to do, but understand that it's just as important, if not more important, to find out who you want to surround yourself with is key to ultimately getting where you want in terms of business. That mindset of realizing that that community is extremely important. To surround yourself with the right people and help you get there will absolutely change and accelerate your path to get you where you want to be. Also part of that mindset transition is being able to embrace new skills. Now, we all have learned new skills over the last 10, 15, 20 years of your medical training. How many little procedures have you learned over time? We are great continuous learners, and sometimes we've already forgotten that we're able to develop new skill sets beyond those required as simply a physician. That might include marketing, finance, business development, right? Communication, sales. As physicians, we're absolutely capable of doing these things. Maybe a lot of these things we don't flex in terms of being a physician, but we're able to do these because we're continuous learners and we're able to pick up those skills. We're ambitious, we're resourceful, and we're able to do these things. But having that mindset of understanding that learning new skills is important and required to move into entrepreneurship is something that will carry you a long way. That might push you to take courses, read books, find mentorship, join masterminds. All these things will help you succeed in this area. When I talk to physicians who have created new businesses, many of them realize that, hey, they have to pick up a brand new skill to be successful in that area. Maybe it's in the area of marketing, again, like I mentioned. And it's something that once they started learning, they actually had a lot of fun with it because it's something different in terms of the identity than what they've done before. But once they embrace that, and of course it's daunting initially, the obstacle may seem kind of fierce at some point, especially when you're first starting, but they realize that they can learn these things. And once they took that first step, it became more and more fun because they were growing in a lot of ways. Probably something that a lot of you are looking forward to when you start your businesses. You want to take on a new challenge. You want to learn new things. If you see that learning as fun, like an opportunity to expand your horizons, then that mindset will carry you so far in terms of being able to be a successful entrepreneur. And lastly, I tell people in terms of the mindset to transition there, you've got to actually think of yourself as being an entrepreneur. I know it sounds a little weird for a lot of physicians to say, I'm a business person, I'm an entrepreneur. Most of us just identify by being a doctor. How do you introduce yourself? When someone asks, what do? You say, I am a doctor, or I'm in this type of field, I'm an anesthesiologist. Maybe some of us actually don't even like saying that we're doctors. When we speak to people, what's usually the first question? Is what's your name? What's usually the second question? What do you do? And I know there's so much tied up in that as doctors. I want people to realize that there's so much more to us than just being doctors. We have other hats that we can wear. Not only can we be a doctor, we can be a great entrepreneur. We can be a great husband, wife. There's so much in us in terms of identities that we can take on. And I discovered that the more we can diversify that identity and be comfortable with the concept that there are so many identities within us, then we can really go at these things full force. It'll give us the confidence to go out there and try new things. And there's so much diversification in terms of our identity. So this week, I actually want to challenge you. I wanted to challenge you to think about what drives you. Who do you need in your life? Who can you network with? Think about how you can commit to developing those new skills. What steps can you take to do that? And what are some of those new identities that you're okay with taking on, that you should take on? Now, if you go to the show notes this week, by the way, we've created this downloadable PDF that you can work through, a little worksheet to help you through this. We hope that it will help you develop a stronger entrepreneurial mindset, help you with that transition. Because having that right mindset is absolutely essential. In the long run, it's going to aid you in constantly shifting your attitude, behavior, and approach to the challenges you face, especially in your business. So that's it for this week's episode. Have an amazing week. Take care. Talk again soon. Enjoy the show? Let me know by dropping a review in the podcast app you're listening to us in. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit subscribe. Join thousands of physicians who are also on this journey to creating their ideal lives through multiple streams of income. Learn more at our website, passiveincomemd.com. Thanks again for allowing me to be a part of your journey. See you next time.